It's Monday, September 27th, 2021. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about Justin Herbert being the new king of the AFC West. Justin Tucker just made one of the greatest kick in NFL history. And our boy New England, Mac Jones, looks like a rookie. And the Denver Broncos look like they might be the no-fly zone part 2. All this, many more on NFL Week 3 edition of Monday Morning Football with the Guru. It's the G to the U to the R to the U. So now let's talk about the Los Angeles Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs game. So obviously this was one of the best games of the week and probably one of the shocking games of the schedule. And I want to talk about what I noticed in that game. And what I noticed and why I love the NFL. This is why I love the NFL. This is why they call me the Guru. Because the NFL teaches you life lessons. You know, and it exposes you, good or bad. It exposes your character and your habits. And watching the Kansas City Chiefs since the Patrick Mahomes era, I've noticed a trait about Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. The difference between Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes is because of a bad quarterback habits. Patrick Mahomes has always had bad quarterback habits. It was never about his ability and his arm strength and how he could throw the ball. But there's always a question about his quarterback habits. For instance, why is Patrick Mahomes, why did he go to Texas Tech instead of the Ohio States or the Alabamas or the big time program? Do you know why? Because he has bad quarterback habits. And the Patrick Mahomes has always been in an environment that enables his quarterback habit. His major quarterback deficiency and habit is Patrick Mahomes like to take risk with the football. My man Patrick Mahomes make this splash face and he's high risk, high reward, which is not a very good trait to be a great quarterback, man. You could be a high level quarterback. Yes, you could be a Brett Favre. You could be a Hall of Fame quarterback. I'm not questioning his talent. But I'm questioning, there's a reason why we don't say Brett Favre is the GOAT. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. He's a legend, but he's not the GOAT because he had bad quarterback habits. I'm looking at Patrick Mahomes. When he throws the ball in too deep, my man throws the ball in triple coverage, in double coverage. Patrick Mahomes do not care, and he has never cared. From his whole career, since he's been playing quarterback, nobody has ever told him about his bad quarterback habits. They just let him slide. And then he went into a situation with Andy Reid, who's known to being a quarterback bad habit enabler. Andy Reid is an enabler, and then he's enabled Patrick Mahomes. For the last 2 years, we saw Patrick Mahomes make a pass left-handed. We see Patrick Mahomes make a no-look pass. We see Patrick Mahomes throw the ball Hail Mary, and all of a sudden somebody catches it. And we thinking that's a great play, but negative. Just because we see Damian Lillard shoot a half-court three-point shot, that don't make it a good shot. Just because he goes in don't make it a good shot. That is a bad shot. Yes, it went in, but it's still a bad play. Patrick Mahomes has been making bad quarterback plays since he's been in the league. But yet, because he has some success with those plays, because he has success with those 50-50 plays, we let it slide. We're like, okay, we're not going to talk about his bad habits. But the thing about the NFL, just like life, man, just like life, it will expose you. It would expose you. And that's the reason why I don't like Justin Herbert over Patrick Mahomes. A lot of people are like, Guru, you're crazy. You're crazy. No, I'm not crazy. I'm looking at habits. I'm looking at traits. When it comes down to this, Justin Herbert take care of this football. In crucial situation, you know what happened? When you're reckless in crucial situation, when you just make high risk, high plays, when you're put in a tense situation, you know what you're going to do? You're going to take high risk. You're going to take high risk because that is your trait. Patrick Mahomes' trait is being a high risk taker. And now the NFL noticed that and they caught up to him. The NFL knows, like, you know what? You don't like being patient. So we're going to play shit with you. We're going to play too safety, too high, and we're going to make you dump the ball and take it down. Dump it down, but no, Patrick Mahomes. Because like all of us, we all got bad traits. We all got bad habits. That's why it's a habit. This is a habit. Patrick Mahomes been careless with the football his whole career. This is the reason why he went to Texas Tech and not a big-time school. This is the reason why he was drafted 10th and not number 1 overall. It was never a question about his ability. It was always a question about his quarterback habits. And right now, in year 4 of his NFL career, it's starting to come up. We're starting to see it. In crunch time, week 2, throwing a crucial, boneheaded turnover. Boneheaded. This Sunday, boneheaded turnovers. If you take away his name, Patrick Mahomes, if any other quarterback make those type of quarterback, you like, get his ass out of there. That's a bad quarterback. Get his ass out of there. Well, because he's Patrick Mahomes, because he got away with being having bad habits at quarterback, we think we give him a pass. But okay, buddy. The toll is out here, baby. You got to pay your toll fee, man. The NFL makes you pay your toll fee, just like life, baby. You ain't just going to pass go. This ain't Monopoly. You ain't just going to hit pass go, man. No, you about to go straight to jail because you got exposed. And you're continuing to get exposed till you fix your bad habit, which is take care of the ball and don't take high risk. And I understand Andy Reid. This is going to make it difficult because Andy Reid is an enabler. Andy Reid will let Patrick Mahomes be risky. That is Andy Reid. The reason why Andy Reid only got 1 Super Bowl and as a coach, 1 Super Bowl. Because he's a high risk, high reward coach. He has tendencies. He enables his quarterback. He enables his quarterback to have bad tendencies and bad habits. And that's why Andy Reid only has 1 Super Bowl ring in his whole career as a head coach. Look at other coaches. Major difference. Once again, AFC West, I want to put y'all right here. Put y'all in high alert. High alert. Justin Herbert is the new kid on the block, man. And Justin Herbert is going to be better than Patrick Mahomes. Because he has a better quarterback habits than Patrick Mahomes. And he don't have a coach who enables his quarterback bad habits like an Andy Reid. And this is why there's a new chief in town. And they are in LA. And this is Monday Morning Football. So now I want to talk about the New Orleans Saints versus the New England Patriots week 3 matchup. I'm telling you, this was probably the ugliest game of the whole entire football. Like, I actually sat here and watched this game. And when I was watching this game, I was like, oh my God, we just aged football like 100 years back, man. I mean, you talking about quarterback plays that look prehistoric. You talking about Mac Jones and Jameis Winston, and then you put in the other guy that comes in with the New Orleans Saints. I mean, this was the ugliest game of the week. Like, honestly, it's like I felt like I was watching high school football. Like, I was at the Friday Night Lights, and then I went on Sunday watching the Patriots New Orleans game. I'm like, what is this high school football? I'm watching belly, 3 tight ends, a fullback. I'm like, this is not the NFL, bro. What am I watching? I was watching the ugliest game ever, man. These 2 teams, I'm talking about, there is no explosive players on both teams. No explosive player. It was the boringest game. It was like watching the 1960s football, man. And those two teams, they are not a very good team. Don't let the record fool you guys, man. The New Orleans Saints with Jameis Winston going 2-1, they're not a very good team. Sean Payton schemed their way to being 2-1, but they're not a very good team. They're not a very good team. And then I look at the New England Patriots. You know, the game before the eve, the game before the game. That's what we're going to call it. We all know what next week is. They came in against the New Orleans Saints and just laid an egg. I'm looking at Mac Jones. People are trying to compare Mac Jones. Oh, he's like a Tom Brady. He's like a Tom Brady. No. Mac Jones is more like Chad Pennington than he is Tom Brady. Y'all get that out of your head. Mac Jones is closer to being Chad Pennington than he is of being Tom Brady. I'm talking about this dude has no arm strength. I'm watching this kid play. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm watching Chad Pennington for the New York Jets. I'm watching Chad Pennington for the Miami Dolphins. Don't get it twisted. Chad Pennington was a high-level quarterback. I love me some Chad Pennington, man. I love me. Chad Pennington was a winner. Mac Jones is going to be a winner. Mac Jones, but he has a lot of deficiencies in this game. It reminds me of Chad Pennington. He can't go vertical. He can't go vertical. He don't have the arm strength to go vertical in the NFL on a consistent basis. When you look at him, man, his strength is going to be his intelligence, just like Chad Pennington was. Chad Pennington had one of the weakest arms I've ever seen as an NFL starting quarterback. Ever. But it was his IQ, how he anticipate. That's one thing I love about Mac Jones. That's why I said Mac Jones is closer to Chad Pennington. His skill set fit more like a Chad Pennington than Tom Brady. So I don't even want to hear that comparison, especially coming to the Tom Brady week. Tom Brady week. No. Please, y'all, this week, let's just look at the tape. When you look at Mac Jones, the way he analyzes and processes information, the way he gets the ball quick, and the way he takes what the defense gives him. That's Chad Pennington. That was Chad Pennington's whole entire career in the AFC East, man. I'm looking at Mac Jones, and Bill Belichick was a big fan of Chad Pennington. High respect for Chad Pennington, and now he got himself another Chad Pennington. So going into Tom Brady week, once again, please, my fellow media friends, don't compare this young kid, Mac Jones, to Tom Brady. Please, this kid is closer to Chad Pennington than he's ever going to be to a Tom Brady. This is Monday Morning Football with the Guru. So now let's talk about the Bucs taking on the Los Angeles Rams. So we all know this was a big game right here. I mean, this was an anticipated game of the week. But really, it was an anticipated game of the week for the Los Angeles Rams. This game was not really for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers treated this game like a preseason game, honestly. Because the most important game was never this game. The most important game, we all know, is next week. So when I was watching this game, even coming to this week, I was never like, oh man, Tampa Bay. I didn't think Tampa Bay cared about this game. Obviously, they would like to win. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying they went into this game like, oh, they're gonna lose. But nah, this game, I'm gonna talk more about Matthew Stafford. I'm gonna give Matthew Stafford his flowers in this one. Because this was the biggest victory for Matthew Stafford as a quarterback in the NFL. This was his biggest victory he ever had. In fact, this might have been the biggest victory Matthew Stafford has ever got in his life. In his life, the biggest victory, man. Because he's a born loser. He's a born loser. We know what Matthew Stafford is. He's been losing since high school. You know what I'm saying? Well, I only know his high school, but I bet you he was a loser in high school. You know? And then he went to college. He had all the great talent, and then he was a loser in college. A loser in college. He went to Detroit. He's supposed to be number one quarterback. And then he was a loser in Detroit. Have no significant game. It's like the only significant game I remember of Matthew Stafford's career was that dumbass game when I guess he hurt his shoulder, and then they keep showing that in NFL films. Oh, my shoulder, I separated my shoulder, and he came back and won that game. That was the highlight of Matthew Stafford's career. But yet, now he beat the GOAT. That became the biggest game of Matthew Stafford's career. And I just put it into a spectrum right here. This was the biggest game in Matthew Stafford's career, and for Tom Brady, Tom Brady's not even going to remember this game. That's the difference in level between Tom Brady and Matthew Stafford. Tom Brady's, after the game went to 0-0, Tom Brady's not even going to remember this game that just happened. He's not even going to care about this loss because he's more focused on this next week. So yes, Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay, I saw you all over there living and dying in LA. It was beautiful. It felt like a college atmosphere in LA. Sean McVay giving chest bumps, running doing a deep play, running with Desean Jackson. I felt like, oh my God, is this college? Is this USC or the NFL? Is this USC? This is week 3, Los Angeles Rams, and y'all act like y'all just won the Super Bowl. This is week 3, Matthew Stafford. Week number 3, y'all beat Tom Brady. Tom Brady don't even care. He don't even care about this game. He got other things to worry about. His focus is on bigger things. It's not on the Los Angeles Rams and Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay. No! Tom Brady got bigger fish to fry, man. He's going to throw a little bone over there to Matthew. Say, here you go, Matthew Stafford. You want to get a win? Here you go, homie. Here you go. Now you got the greatest win of your life, man. A week 3 regular season victory against Tom Brady. And now the whole Rams sideline is going crazy like they won the Super Bowl. Come on, man. That's the difference, man. I just want to tell y'all a different level in quarterback play, man. In quarterback play, you got Tom Brady's like, you know what? There's this one saying, when I grew up, man, this OG used to tell me, man, it ain't tricking if you got it. It ain't tricking if you got it. Meaning Tom Brady, you got it, dog. You can go ahead and trick and give up a little loss. I'm like, here you go. Give him the trick bag, man. We call that the trick bag. Tom Brady just tricked back Matthew Stafford and Los Angeles Rams, and then Los Angeles Rams felt like they just did something. Man, we call that a trick bag play, homie. Hey, Matthew Stafford. Hey, good job, man, because you played the game of your life. The game of your life, man. But in the hood, man, we just call you just got trick bag, buddy. You just got trick bag, man. You think Tom Brady care about this game, man? Brady's running about Belichick, bro. Man, like my man Jay-Z said, man, I'm looking past you, man. I'm looking through y'all, man. I got bigger things to fry, man. What's wrong with y'all? The Bucs was not worried about the Los Angeles Rams. But once again, congratulations to Matthew Stafford, the most overhyped quarterback in recent years. The most overhyped losing quarterback in recent years. And my man just won a week 3 regular season game against Tom Brady at home. And that has become the signature win of his career. And that's sad. Because, like I said, Tom Brady is not even going to remember this game. This is Monday Morning Football with the Guru. So now let's talk about probably the most exciting, the most heart-wrenching game, the most emotionally game of the week. Like, my goodness. I mean, my heart was pounding between the Baltimore Ravens and the Detroit Lions. My man, Dan Campbell and his ankle biting, and just those guys, I give it to him, man. When my man Dan Campbell talked about in his press conference, we're going to bite your ankles. We're going to keep coming. We're going to scrap your kneecap. We're going to do everything we can, and we're going to keep coming and coming. Boy, oh boy, man, he ain't lying, man. He ain't lying, man. The Detroit Lions, man, are taking the identity of their coach, and I love it, bro. Bruh, I love it, man. I freaking love it. And I'm loving it like McDonald's, baby. Oh, I'm loving it. The Detroit Lions, baby. Look at my Lions right there. Y'all know how I feel about my Lions, baby. They did everything they can to win against the Baltimore Ravens, man, in one of the greatest games I ever seen in my own eyes, bro. One of the greatest games I ever seen with my two eyes. But guess what? It came down to the greatest field goal kicker of my era. Yes, we have Vinatieri. Yes, we got Automatica. Yes, we have Janikowski. I remember all those kickers, but no one is Justin Tucker, a.k.a. the field god. Justin Tucker is the field god. He made a 66-yard field goal, homie. Bruh, you got 90% of the NFL quarterback that can't throw the ball 66 yards. Mac Jones can't throw 66 yards, homie. But the field god, Justin Tucker, baby, 66 yards, that ain't nothing. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby. Justin Tucker is the field god, and he's the reason why Dan Campbell and Detroit Lions are still winless, man. Y'all better start putting respect on that man's foot. Put respect on Justin Tucker's foot, man. He is the greatest kicker of all time, a.k.a. the field god. Man, I love me some Justin Tucker. Hey, we don't even talk about kickers in this show, but damn it, if you're going to be the GOAT, we're going to talk about it because we talk about all the GOATs, man. You know what I'm saying? We talk about GOATs, and even kickers are GOATs. Oh, man. So we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, you better stay tuned because we're going to talk about these teams right here that got to start thinking about tanking for quarterbacks. Yes, I know it's week 3. I know it's already week 3, but y'all better start that tanking season already, baby. And we'll be right back with Monday Morning Football. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's the G to the U to the R to the U. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I want to talk about now about 3 teams, 3 different teams with 3 quarterbacks, all right? I want to talk about the Indianapolis Colts and their situation. I want to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers and their situation. And also I want to talk about the New York Football Giants and their situation. I call this category right here the 3 Sucketeers. Yes, because these 3 quarterbacks, they suck. Like, I'm not even going to beat around the bush because I don't like doing that. So I'm going straight to the point. The 3 Sucketeers. And we're going to start with Sucketeer number 1 from Indianapolis Colts, Carson Wentz. It's time for the Colts to tank for a new quarterback, man. I believe the Colts should follow the same guidelines as the San Francisco 49ers did with Jimmy G and drafting Trey Lance. It's like, how many more data do we need to know about Carson Wentz that we know this dude is brittle? This dude goes to McDonald's and order a McBrittle. That's what Carson Wentz does in the morning for breakfast. He gets himself a McBrittle. I saw it, trust me. I know a cousin I work over there in McDonald's, man. My cousin Tyrone, he works at the McDonald's in Indianapolis. He like, man, Carson Wentz be always coming in here talking about, can I get a McBrittle? I'm like, boy, you better drink some milk with your brittle self, man. So it's time for the Indianapolis Colts and Chris Ballard to really, really think about a strategy here. Really take a strategic, take this from the NBA. Take this strategy from the NBA. It's time to tank for a quarterback. And you're in a perfect situation right now. You guys are winless. And you already have a good excuse. Carson Wentz, he gets hurt. Every time the wind blows, he gets hurt. When it rains, he's cracked. You all know what it is. Has no awareness, no pocket awareness, no quarterback awareness. Carson Wentz is just a reckless dude, man. And you can't have a reckless dude lead your organization, Chris Ballard. So with that said, Sucketeer number 1, Carson Wentz and Chris Ballard and the Indianapolis Colts. Y'all should really start thinking about tanking for a quarterback. Sucky tier number 2, Pittsburgh Steelers, Big Ben. Man, I was a Big Ben fan from when Big Ben first came in the league, man. When he first came in the league, but just like spoiled milk, we all got time of expiration. Do you know, when I look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, you know what I see? I see a stinky milk. It's like it stinks. Big Ben stink, man. You know why it stinks? Because you smell it, you're like, oh man, this shit is expired, man. This shit is expired. Pittsburgh Steelers, you still got Big Ben as your quarterback. It reminds me of expired milk, man, still in the refrigerator. It's time to get rid of it. It's sticking up the refrigerator, man. Why do you still have this stinking milk in the refrigerator, Pittsburgh Steelers? Big Ben, your date of expiration was 2018, and you are still a starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's why the team stinks, man. If you have an expired milk in your fridge, you open the cap, what is it going to smell like? Doo-doo. And when I look at the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback situation, man, I turn the TV on, I smell doo-doo. I'm like, oh, man, this is some expired milk playing quarterback, man. His days have been done for 2 years ago, man. It's overdue. And if I was a Pittsburgh organization, it's time to tank for a quarterback. Now, I want to move on to my sucky tier number 3. My sucky tier number 3, New York Football Giants quarterback, Daniel Jones. Man, Daniel Jones stinks, man. He stinks bad, man. I mean, when I look at Daniel Jones, you ever hear about, it's like he reminds me of a guy that has no awareness. You guys ever walk you ever walk in the dark and you're coming down the steps in the dark, right? And you know you take one step at a time in the dark. But yet, if you have any awareness, you know there's a step after a step. But Daniel Jones is one of those people with no awareness. He's going to miss a step. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you're in the dark, you walk around, and if you have any type of awareness, you got, okay, I one step here, another step here. But Daniel Jones has no awareness, man, and he always misstep, man. He always misstep, man. He's the most turnover-prone quarterback I ever seen in my life, man. And it's time for the New York Football Giants to turn his ass over. If I was a Giants fan, I'm tired of seeing this dude turn the ball over, man. It's time for my organization to turn his ass over now, man. Daniel Jones stinks, man. And he's part of my sucky tier number 3, man. The New York Football Giants, man. It's time to get rid of Daniel Jones, man, because this dude smells, oh my goodness. He smells like poo-poo. Daniel Jones is poo-poo. He is not the guy. He do not have the New York state of mind. I'm telling you, man, he look more of a New Jersey type of guy, man. And y'all know what I'm talking about. If you were from the I-95 special, man, Daniel Jones smell like he from straight up New Jersey. And the New York Football Giants, it's time for y'all to tank for a quarterback. I want to talk about the Denver Broncos. Like, this is one of the sneakiest teams you guys want to pay attention to going forward in the NFL. They started 3-0, and they're the most quietest 3-0 team. And right now, what I'm looking at the no-fly zone part 2. You guys ever seen movies, man, like, you know, Friday part 2 or any other part 2 of the movies? Like this right now, what's happening in Denver is called the no-fly zone part 2. And boy, Vic Fangio and company got those guys rocking, man. If you guys are not paying attention to what's going on in my high, man, as far as the secondary play, Kyle Fuller, Patrick Surtain, Justin Hamilton, Kareem Jackson, those guys right now are becoming the no-fly zone part 2. No-fly zone part 2, man, in 3 weeks, in 3 games. In 3 games, this defense is averaging, giving up 8 points per game, man. 8 points per game. Bruh, that's incredible, man. That's incredible. And they're defeating their opponents by an average of 16.5 points a game, bruh. They're outshining, they're destroying teams right now. And y'all better take a mad look at what's going on in my high, man. I'm knowing what's going on. I'm watching what's going on in my eye. You know the guru. I always got my eyes and ears everywhere, dog. And what I'm peeping over there is I'm looking at the Denver Broncos secondary. I'm like, oh, snap, bruh. In 3 weeks, they allowed 2 touchdown passes, bruh. This is the new NFL. You get 2 touchdown passes in a quarter. In a quarter, you give up 2 NFL passing, this new NFL. But the Denver Broncos, with their new look, no-fly zone, led by safeties Justin Hamilton, Kareem Jackson, led by corners, Kyle Fuller, rookie Patrick Surtain. This is starting to look very, very familiar, man. Very familiar. And if I was Green Bay, and if you're Aaron Rodgers, and you know you're trying to get out of the Green Bay situation, there's something brewing in Denver, man. Denver got all the weapons, and they got a defense. The Denver Broncos got the best defensive unit in the AFC, ladies and gentlemen. And nobody's saying anything about it, but the guru is, because this is what I do. The Denver Broncos are for real. Vic Fangio got the best defense in the AFC. I'm going to keep repeating that. And they got the best secondary. They have an average. They give up an average of 181 passing yards a game, which is number 1 in the NFL. No-fly zone. They've taken away. They have 5 interceptions in this season, leading the NFL. No-fly zone. They're creating sacks. They're creating turnovers. I'm talking about, you watch the Denver Broncos defense, and I was like, oh my God, I've seen this movie before. This is part 2 of the no-fly zone. This is the Chris Harris. This is the Talib. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on in Denver? And watch out, because the Broncos are a quarterback away. And hey, I'm not dissing Steady Eddie, but if the Denver Broncos go to Wisconsin and go pilfer Aaron Rodgers with this defense they're establishing, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say this one last time. With the no-fly zone part 2, and the Denver Broncos go to Wisconsin and go pilfer Aaron Rodgers from the Green Bay Packers, ladies and gentlemen, the Denver Broncos will be the Super Bowl favorite for the 2022 season. The Denver Broncos got everything you need to make a Super Bowl run except Aaron Rodgers. So if I was, GM Peyton, George Payton over there in Denver, the new GM, if I was you, I would go to Aaron Rodgers' house in California, in Wisconsin. Every house Aaron Rodgers got, I would bring a guitar and I would start playing for him and be like, bring your ass, come to Mile High, baby, because we got everything you need to win that championship, man. Like I said, baby, watch out, Denver, because I've seen this movie before, and it's called The No-Fly Zone, Part 2. All right, y'all. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the teams. These 4 teams that made one of the biggest regret of their franchise history. They might not admit it yet, but we all know they wish they could take this back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's the G to the U to the R to the U. Welcome back. Welcome back. So, obviously, I want to come back and touch on the Justin Herbert, because I love me some Justin Herbert, man. Like, I love me some Justin Herbert. Like, honestly, I think Justin Herbert is going to be he's going to be the GOAT. Y'all could have your Patrick Mahomes. Y'all could have all that. I'm all about that Justin Herbert bandwagon. That's who I am. Call me Mr. Justin Herbert bag holder. Yes, I'll hold this bag, damn it. I'll hold your cleat, Justin Herbert. I'll be your fanboy, your number 1 fanboy. The guru is Justin Herbert's number 1 fanboy. And what? And what? Exactly. Anyways, look, in life, you do a lot of things. You make decisions in life sometimes that you regret. We all have made decisions in life that we regret. We all have, man. And we all wish we could take it back. We all wish we could go back and be like, damn it. I wish I got that decision back, man. And there's 4 organizations in the NFL right now that's kicking themselves. I wish they could have the 2020 draft right back, man. That they wish they could have the 2020 draft right back because they regret their choice. Justin Herbert was by far, you know, I'm a fanboy. I love some Joe Burrow. Don't get it twisted. Joe Burrow is a franchise quarterback, but Justin Herbert should have been the second best player or the second player chosen in the draft. Obviously, hindsight is 2020. Yes, it's 2020. But we could see this. Justin Herbert had everything, all the traits you require. Big, strong, athletic, physical. I could make every throws in the book. But yet, NFL GM overthinks situation. You look at the Washington football team. You look at the Detroit Lions. You look at the New York football Giants. You look at the Miami Dolphins. Right now, what do all those teams have in common? You know what they have in common? They are looking for a Justin Herbert. That's a weird thing. The Washington football team, the Detroit Lions, the Miami Dolphins, the New York football Giants, those guys passed up on Justin Herbert. And they wish they could go back and make that decision again, man. I'm telling you straight up, bro. We all make decisions in life we wish we could take back, man. We all do. And this organization right now made one of the biggest mistakes, and that's why this 4 organization and this situation they're in. You know, the most important position group in football is quarterback. That is by far the most important position. So if you have the opportunity to draft yourself a quarterback, I don't give a damn. I don't care if it's LT. I don't care if it's Reggie White. This is a quarterback-led league. You draft a quarterback. The Detroit Lions drafted a corner, Jeff Okudah, over Justin Herbert. The Washington football team drafted Chase Young over Justin Herbert, who don't even have a sack yet. The New York football Giants drafted an offensive tackle who stinks. The Miami Dolphins drafted a walking injury in Tua. But they all wish they could go back in that draft room when their time comes. They all wish they could go back and put that card and says, Justin Herbert is my guy. They all wish. But you know what? Just like in life, man, we all got to live with regrets, man. That's part of growing up. That's part of being alive. That's part of being a Homo sapien, is living with regrets. And for my Washington football team, for the Detroit Lions, for the Miami Dolphins, to the New York football Giants, they regret not drafting Justin Herbert because, and look at that organization right now. They are looking for a Justin Herbert. This is Monday Morning Football with the Guru. I'm going to talk about the 3-0 team, and I'm going to say if they're for real or if they're no for real. So basically, it's a game show. It's going to be either they're for real, if I feel like they're for real, or if I feel like no, for real. All right. So the first team we're going to talk about, the 3-0 team, the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos are for real. They have everything you need as far as to be a playoff contender. What I mentioned to you, they got the best defense in the whole entire AFC. Defensively, their average winning margin is 16.5 points, and they only give up 8 points a game, and they average 25 points a game. So yes, it's a dominated defense. Yes, the Denver Broncos are so for real. Now, the Carolina Panthers, so for real or no for real? Honestly, I love me some Matt Rule. Y'all watch my content. Rule number 1, always like Matt Rule. Rule number 2, always follow rule number 1. So with that said, my Carolina Panthers are not for real. And the reason why I said that is because the injury to Christian McCaffrey. Yes, you all know who he is. Christian McBriddle, Christian McInjury, Christian McOw. That's who he is. Always owing and aching. Yes, sir, Bob. So obviously he's a big, major part of the team. He's probably their best part of your team. And honestly, I don't really think the offensive line is what it needs to be. So yes, they're 3-0, but I don't think they are for real. So they're no for real. Another 3-0 team, the Las Vegas Raiders. Are they so for real or no for real? Well, first of all, it's September. So what we do know about the Las Vegas Raiders in September, they are for real. You know what I'm saying? So for right now, since it's September, the Las Vegas Raiders are for real. I'm really surprised right now. I'm not going to lie to y'all, especially defensively. Those guys are really getting after it. And the defensive line, very shocking. Derek Carr is playing out of this world with a bunch of no-namers. I don't even know who the Brian Edwards. They throw the ball 100 times to Dan Waller. This team right here is such a confusing team. You know what I mean? It's such a it reminds me of, it's like when you see a crazy mofo like outside in the street, like this dude is so crazy, they confuse you. You don't know what to do. That's what I feel about with the Las Vegas Raiders right now. It's like they're like one of those crazy ass teams. They're winning overtime. They're winning on Hail Mary. They got so many crazy ways of winning ball game. It's like I don't even know if they're for real right now. But as of September, they are for real. Now, what's the other 3-0 team? The Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals, are they so for real or no for real? Hey, with a guy like Kyler Murray, with that defense they have with those pass rushers, man, and with the old heads out receivers, oh man, the Arizona Cardinals are for real. This is a legit 3-0 team, man. I mean, Kyler Murray is playing out of this world right now, man. From D. Hopkins. And I'm talking about, we got Chandler Jones, J.J. Watt, A.J. Green. We have a sighting for A.J. Green sighting, man. Right now, everything is clicking for the Arizona Cardinals, and I like where they are as far as where Kyler Murray is at, because they go as Kyler Murray go. And Kyler Murray is for real, which makes the Arizona Cardinals so for real. All right, and then we finished up with the Los Angeles Rams, 3-0. Are they so for real or no for real? You know what? They got Matthew Stafford, who's throwing the ball to Deshaun Jackson to live and die in L.A., man. As an NFC West fanboy, I would say, yes, the Los Angeles Rams are so for real. They are defensively, they're top tier. Offensively, they're top tier, even though I'm going to pay attention to the lack of running game they have, because I do think in the long haul, that's really going to showcase them, because I don't want Matthew Stafford to be the leader of my team. I want Matthew Stafford to be the added value, like a whipped cream to my team. I don't want him to be the whole team. You know what I'm saying? Because that's usually a recipe for a bad milkshake. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, the Los Angeles Rams do have all the recipe and all the pieces around Matthew Stafford for them to be so for real. So y'all know, with that said, and that's Monday Morning Football with the Guru for episode 44, baby. This is Monday Morning Football.